Sairam students, I welcome all of you once again to our lesson number 8, our skeletal system and the skin. Let's revise once again whatever we have learnt in the last lecture. So you know that in the last lecture we have learned that there are different type of the bones which are present inside our body. So there are basically in adult 206 bones are present, and in a child there are total 300 bones are present. So all these bones are connected by something. Am I right? So there are certain places where two or more bones are connected together. So the places where two or more bones are connected to each other, so that place we call it as what? Joints. What we call them as? Joints. So joint is a place where two or more bones are connected to each other. So students, these joints, they are divided into two parts. So the joints are classified as a movable joint and as well as the immovable joint. What do you mean by the movable joint and the immovable joint? The bones which can move very easily. The bones which can move very easily, we call them as what? Movable joint. And what do you mean by immovable joint? The bones which cannot move very easily. The bones which cannot move very easily, we call them as what? Immovable joint. Is that clear? So the bones of our arm and the legs, they can move very easily. So that's why we call them as what? Movable joint. And what do you mean by immovable joint? The bones of our skull and our head, they can't move very immediately. So they are called as what? Immovable joint. Is that clear? And once again, these movable joints, they are again classified into three parts. I hope so you remember that. So the movable joint, they are divided into three parts. The first one is what? Hinge joint. The second one is what? Ball and socket joint. Third one is what? Gliding joint. So these are the three type of the movable joint which are present in our body. So I hope so you remember what do you exactly mean by the hinge joint, ball and socket joint and the gliding joint. Let's see once again over here. So can you see that the hinge joint? Hinge joint is the type of the bone which moves only in one direction. That means this type of the hinge joint, it moves only in 180-degree angle. So the bone which moves only in 180-degree angle and that too moves only in one direction, we call them as what? Hinge joint. So where these hinge joints are present? These hinge joints are present in the elbow region and the knee region. Our elbow and our knee, they only bend in only one direction and that too in 180-degree angle. So these bones are called as what? Hinge joint. And the next one, as you can see that the ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint, as you can see that over here, they rotate themselves in 360-degree angle. So the joints which can move themselves in 360-degree angle, we call them as what? Ball and socket joint. So the bones of our shoulder, we can rotate our shoulder here in like this in the 360-degree angle. So the bones which we can move in the 360-degree angle, we call them as what? Ball and socket joint. Is that clear? And the next one, as you can see that over here, gliding joint. Gliding joint means what? The bones which can slide over each other. So the bones which can slide over each other, we call them as what? Gliding joint. And the bones of our hand and the legs, they are called as what? That type of the gliding joint. So I hope so now you must be clear with the concept of the types of the joints in detail. Okay, so now let's see our part today over here. So students, can you see that sometime we feel cold, sometime we feel hot, am I right? So which organ helps to sense whether something is hot or something is cold, rough or smooth, etc.? Someone pricks you, so that time we feel something, am I right? So which organ helps us to feel any type of the sensation like hot and the cold condition, etc.? So which organ tells us that the weather is hot or the weather is cold? Any guesses? Which organ tells us that? Yeah, your guess is absolutely right. The organ which tells us about the hotness and the coldness which is present in the atmosphere and the sensation, that is the skin. Okay, so the skin, that is the outermost covering of the body. So the skin is the outermost covering of the body which tells us about the whether the atmosphere is cold or the whether the atmosphere is hot. Okay, so what is basically skin, students? The outermost covering of the body is called as what? Skin. And the skin is responsible for what? Sensation. And the skin is our sensory organ. Do you know that, student? The skin is the large organ in all of the living organisms. You must be thinking that brain is our largest organ, or kidney is our largest organ, or might be intestine is the largest organ, right? No. But let me tell you that you might be surprised to hear that skin is the large organ of all the living thing. Who is the large organ? Skin. Okay, and you know that on our skin hairs are present. Hair are present on our skin, and even on the fingertips of our on our fingertips even the nails are present. So on our fingertips of the hand and the toes the nails are present. So the skin gives us the sense of the touch. Who gives us a sense of the touch? The skin. And that's why the skin is the important sensory organ of the body. Who is the sensory organ of the body? Skin. Okay, the skin is the important sensory organ of the body, and on skin hair and nails are also present. Understood? Now you must be thinking that why skin is very important. There must be certain functions of the skin. Am I right? Yeah, absolutely. As you can see that there are number of functions of the skin which are present in our body. Okay, so what are the functions of the skin which are present in our body? So the first function of the skin is that protecting the internal parts of the bodies like muscles, bones and the organ system. See, there are bones which are present inside our body. There are different type of the organs like heart, kidney, lungs, etc. They are present inside our body. Okay, so our outer layer of the skin, it is protecting all these organs. So the protection is one of the important function of the skin. What is the second function of the skin? Skin helps to preserve the moisture of the body. Have you ever noticed that during winter season our skin becomes very dry, and during summer season we feel sweating? Okay, so that means what? This skin is responsible for maintaining the moisture. Okay, and most importantly, skin is the place where vitamin D synthesizes. You must have seen that in the presence of the sunlight, our body produces the vitamin D. So vitamin D production takes place inside our skin. Okay, and most importantly, you must have noticed that sometimes we sweat. So sweating also done by the skin only. Okay, so when we sweat, so our body, our skin also becomes sometime oily. Okay, so this skin protects us from the heat and cold as well. On our skin a lot of hair particles are present. The hair which are present on our skin, they are protecting us from the heat and cold as well. And most importantly, the skin functions as the sensory organ of a touch. Okay, so these are the different functions of the skin now we have learned so far. Okay, so don't you think that the skin is very important organ of our body, and it is protecting our all the internal body, and it is responsible for what? Sensory organ, and it is responsible for what? Sense of touch. Is that clear? Now you must be thinking, student, that what is the structure of the skin? How this structure of the skin looks like? Can you see that this is the actual structure of the skin? If you observe carefully, this is our outer layer. And can you see this? This is our hair. This is our hair which is present on our skin surface. So these are the hair which are present on our skin surface. This is our skin. Okay. So the outermost layer, so there are basically three layers. There are basically three layers which are made up of skin. Okay. So the outer layer, it is called as what? Epidermis. What we call it as? Epidermis. So the outer part of our skin, what we call it as? Epidermis. Below epidermis, can you see this region over here? Okay, so the below epidermis, this region we call it as what? Dermis. What we call it as? Dermis. The outer layer of the skin we call it as epidermis. The lower layer it is called as what? Dermis. Okay, And most importantly, below dermis, there is one layer of the fat. There is one layer of the fat which we call it as what? Subcutaneous layer. What we call it as subcutaneous layer. So epidermis, dermis and subcutaneous layer together they form our skin. Is that clear? So can you see that over here? The human skin is made up of basically two layers. The outermost layer it is called as what? Epidermis. The layer below of the epidermis is called as what? Dermis. And below the dermis layer there is a network of blood vessel and the nerve fiber. That's why, because the blood vessel are present below the skin, that's why you must have noticed that most of the time when we get hurt, blood comes out. Am I right? Why blood comes out when the skin gets damaged? Because the blood vessel which are present below the skin, they get damaged and the blood will come out. Okay. And the subcutaneous layer which is present, it is responsible for maintaining the normal body temperature. What is our normal body temperature? 37 degrees Celsius. So the subcutaneous layer which is present below the dermis layer, it is responsible for what? Maintaining the normal body temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius. Understood? What happens, students, when we walk or we play in the hot sun? When you play for longer time, when we run for the longer time, what happens that time? Any guesses? Yeah, when we walk or when we play for longer time under the sun, that time we sweat a lot. Am I right? That time we sweat a lot, no? So the sweating comes out from the skin, correct? So now you must be thinking that over here, when we walk or play in the sun, at the same time you must have noticed that because of this sweat, our skin becomes wet. Our skin becomes wet. Am I right? Why skin becomes wet? The water or the skin, it becomes wet, which is because of what? Sweat which is coming from the skin. So the sweat is responsible for the wet skin. So who produces the skin? There must be someone which is present on the skin that is producing the sweat. Am I right? So do you know that, student, on our skin there are certain sweat glands are present. On our skin, the sweat glands are present. These sweat glands are present all over the body. So these sweat gland produces the sweat. Who produces the sweat? Sweat gland. Where they are present? These sweat glands are present on the skin. So these sweat gland produces the sweat. Is that clear? Now you must be thinking, how does sweating helps to lower the body temperature? See, the sweating helps us to lower the body temperature. The reason is that when you play in the hot sun or after doing any kind of the physical activity, our body temperature rises. When you play or when you do any type of the heavy physical activity, our body temperature rises a lot. Okay. And you all know that our body temperature should be 37 degrees Celsius in any condition. But when you do hard work, our body temperature increases. So to reduce the body temperature, our body produces the sweat. And sweat, it is present in the form of water. So because of the sweat, our body temperature decreases and our body maintains the temperature of what? 37 degrees Celsius. Is that clear? That's why sweating is very important. Is that clear? So sweating reduces the temperature of our body and it maintains the temperature at 37 degrees Celsius. Is that clear? So let's revise once again what we have learned today. We have learned that the outermost organ of our body is the skin. And the skin is the largest organ of all the living organism. And our skin is made up of two layers. The outer layer is called as what? Epidermis. And the lower layer is called as what? Dermis. Okay. And below the dermis layer, the subcutaneous layer is present where a lot of fats are present. And because of the subcutaneous layer, our body maintains the temperature of 37 degrees Celsius in all conditions. Is that clear? And what we have learned today? We learned that there are different functions of the skin. What is the first function of the skin? Skin protects the internal parts of the body like muscle, bones and the organ system. The second function is that skin helps to preserve the moisture in the body. Third function, skin helps to synthesize the vitamin D. Fourth function, skin releases the sweat to regulate the body temperature. Fifth, skin gives the protection to our body from heat and the cold. And the same time, the skin functions as the sensory organ of the touch. Is that clear? So the next part of this part we will see in the next session. Bye bye, take care.